Hi, Joel Pearl.
Hi, Tim.
Feel like we didn't get a lot of time to talk pre-show. How's it going?
It's going amazingly well. We didn't have enough time to talk.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about?
It's not like how's life? How's life, Joel? Joel Pearl,
yeah,
part of Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring. Welcome to the show, everybody. I snuck it in there. It was a Trojan intro. How's it going? Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring. We're going to talk about wrestling.
We're going to talk about
your life, Joel Pearl. I asked, but I don't care. I don't care at all.
It's fine. We can talk about it afterwards when we inevitably spend a half an hour talking to each other after the show.
Maybe. I got shit to do. We'll see.
Yeah, whatever. And if you got shit to do, maybe you want to leave us a thumbs up on this video while you're waiting, or maybe after the fact, maybe after you're watching it. Maybe you want to drop us a comment because you're too busy doing other stuff that you can't catch us live, but you want to catch us after the fact, and you want to tell the world your predictions for the Survivor Series. If you really care, we're about to flip a damn coin for those things. Or you want to subscribe to us here at timandjoelpod.com because your subscription goes a long way. You can catch us twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays at noon Eastern live. You can catch us anywhere, anytime in audio format. Just go and click on your favorite podcast app and look up Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring, and we're right there. And also, our Discord's free. Go ahead, join us. There's a link in the video description. Tim,
how dare we? We're breaking the free market by making that thing free, by the way.
Listen, one of these days we're going to monetize on a Discord because that's what everyone does, right?
Get it while it's hot. Yeah, only people with money get to be our friends.
That's right. Oh, love it. I love seeing people, our friends, Sports and Things show saying Tim and Joel become a Sunday staple for me. Thank you. We're glad to hear you. Glad to have you. Are you ready, Tim, to talk about wrestling? Are you ready to talk about Survivor Series, or do you want to start with SmackDown?
I will talk about anything. Let's start with SmackDown.
SmackDown real quick. I don't think we have to spend too much time on it because it happened on Friday. But one of my favorite points about SmackDown this week was that there was a through thread again. They actually started the show and ended it, albeit with Roman, but they still had the Woods and the Crown and Big E, and they set up something for Survivor Series. They made at least two of the matches for tonight's Sunday Survivor Series a good thing, an excitable show. What do you think? What did you think of SmackDown and that segment?
Yeah, I mean, 20-minute opener again, which is fine. It's okay. It wasn't bad. I liked that it set up the through thread, as you said. I think it finally gave at least Big E and Roman some kind of sort of sense of gravitas, a little bit, at the expense of making Xavier Woods look like kind of a punk. But
I mean, he's clearly going to get involved somehow in the finish tonight in the main event, right?
I hope so. And I hope that leads to Big E going over Roman, but we'll let the coin decide.
Yes, we will let the coin decide. We're going to do that momentarily. And with Reigns stomping on Xavier Woods' crown, after Woods is like,
crown. He made it look like the Burger King collectible crown that it really is, right? Now that it's folded in half like the cardboard ones.
I mean, it's now been folded into many pieces because Reigns stomped on it repeatedly. And, you had Xavier Woods saying like, oh, they're just material goods. They're not real. I am the king. That's all that matters. I like that. I like that King Woods believes in what being King Woods means. And it's not just having a scepter and a crown and a big cage, whatever. Like
it's bad monarchy puns and Game of Thrones references.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all he wants. He wants to go on G4, say he's a king, and then tell you all about how his declarations go. I don't know.
Proclamations is the
proclamations. Word. Precious declarations. Anyway, enough about 90s theme songs. We had a good time with that. Xavier's like, clothes don't make the man, and Reigns is like, bet, and then just stomps on the crown. And then later on in the night, Woods is like, I'm gonna call out Reigns. He didn't say anything about a match. He just said, I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna beat his ass. Yep. And so they get to the final. We'll talk about the rest of the show, but we get to the final moments of the show. Woods comes out, and he's got a big old smile on his face when Reigns' theme comes on, and the Usos get tossed from the backstage.
I like the one at a time. That was fun.
I did too. Made me think that maybe Kofi was there, but
obviously I also thought Kofi, but I guess he's got a bum ACL, or was it
ACL? It's not. It's baby time at the Kingston household.
Oh, adorable.
Yes, so that's happening. So he's hanging out at home. It's not for me to share, but I just did. Anyway, if you didn't know, if you hadn't seen photos of his wife looking extremely pregnant, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't pay attention to his life or anyone else's life.
Regardless, it was Big E who came out. He tossed out both Usos, and then he and Roman Reigns get into it, have a nice knockdown, drag out brawl to end the show. Your thoughts leading into Sunday? Was it worth it? Was it something you wanted to see? Are you on this camp of I don't want them to touch until Survivor Series? How did you feel about that?
No, they definitely needed to do something because I barely cared at all. So this is good. I appreciate that no one stood tall in the end. That was fine. It's good
It's
stuff.
true.
Makes me very curious. I truly don't know who's going to win this match. Like that, I appreciate very much about this. It's rare. Again, it doesn't matter who wins it, but like I like that I don't know with a certainty.
I think there are more stakes in this match than we know. There isn't anything announced. I just think that, and when we talk about the card, when we run it down, we'll talk about how some of these stories and how some of these results might play out in the long run. But then again, letting something play out in WWE isn't always.
Sometimes it goes nowhere, like everything to do with Sonya Deville. Continue.
Right. Well, when it's Roman, most of the time he's got a say in it. Therefore, we trend in the right direction. But speaking of trending in the right direction, we have a fatal 4-way. The winner gets to join Team SmackDown. They had Ricochet and Cesaro, Sheamus and Jinder Mahal. I mean, listen, this was Jinder's match to win, right? Right? No. Oh, well, I tried.
No, the only one with an active storyline was Cesaro and his English friend Ridge Holland, Pat McAfee. Yes. I appreciate they corrected that after because I was like, what? He's definitely not Irish. That is not an Irish accent.
My little dildo bat is elsewhere. Don't know where it went. But Ridge Holland must have stolen my little dildo bat, black dildo bat, because he came out, tried to use it, tried to interfere, and ended up helping Sheamus get the win. You know what? I will say this. They found a way to get Jinder away from what he started, considering the people that he started it with are no longer working for the company. So at least putting him in that 4-way match kept him relevant in some sort of way. But yeah, he kind of expected, I don't know. I
pretty tough week to week, but yeah.
It
was a fine match. Sheamus comes out, does his like flasher character.
Continues. We're gonna talk about releases. We will. What else was there? And then in the back, he's just like, we are the bar. We're going to go to the bar. So it's cute. Holland and Sheamus are bar 2.0.
It's cute if a jealous Cesaro enters the fray. Then I'm into it. Then that line wasn't a cheap throwaway. It sets something up. And then Sheamus has something to do with someone else who deserves something to do. So
all about it. Let's do it. And then you mentioned Sonya Deville, Aaliyah and Naomi team up. They take on Shayna Baszler and Natalya. I was under the impression this was just going to be Natty eating another pin from Aaliyah, who's looking like she's on a roll. But instead, our referee friend, Aja.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. And that's it. Fast count. 2 minutes. Okay, sure. Shocking, I guess. No, nothing to add.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's just the story has done the same thing for many weeks now, more or less. This is not elevating anything.
I think what's very frustrating here was just that there's no explanation, and maybe we're going to get one, but I don't always trust WWE to tell us these things or explain these things. You know, the ref comes up to Sonya after she talks to Sami Zayn, who announces the 25-man battle
while
royal.
She's talking to Sami Zayn, so she has to put on this big performance where she's like, I know nothing. Like...
Yeah. She's like, I don't know who you are. Get out of here.
Get out of here. I don't know who you are.
Did I do a good job? Daddy, did I do a good job?
Yeah.
And she's like, get out of here. And anyway, cuts her down, tells her to go away. She rolls her eyes. She walks away, does Aja. And back to NXT, back to Tuesday nights for her, I guess.
Sammy gets to reference his documentary, at least. That, you know, still kind of sort of a part of his character, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, she's not. I was just going by Daphne LaShawn, according to a PW Insider report. All the referees got new names.
What? Why?
All their shoot names got turned into work names. So
okay, sure. Why not?
Have fun with that. Everyone's got to learn new names again.
That's going to be annoying.
Yeah. Well, if nothing.
Yeah,
else.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like anything about Adam Pearce or Sonya Deville anymore. I can't stand every time they show up because it feels like there's a deep lore that the writers have put together or something that we are not privy to. Because like
exactly.
they kind of sort of hate each other. They're doing different things. It's, you know, that was Adam, that wasn't me. Like, I don't understand. Like, Adam Pearce is a dick sometimes randomly, hates the Mysterios, don't know why. Like, it's just a I don't know. Doesn't make this is bringing out the worst out of this pair Survivor Series, even though they both manage the same shows.
If they're trying to turn them, I am wondering what brought them to this point. Is because Vince loves heel authority figures and thinks that, these two will be the next coming of Mr. McMahon. What do they think they're getting from this?
It doesn't make sense because they aren't authority. Like they're kind of meek as far as the authority figure goes in WWE programming. Like just looking back historically, these guys are nothing. Like they have no spines. Roman's the one running the show on SmackDown, at least. That's been made apparent. And like Raw is just, I don't know, it's chaos. The two of them, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, don't have authority. They make decisions and people tolerate them, but they're not like, I don't know, they don't seem strong.
Yeah, just officials is what they are, and they don't even
Yeah.
let them be official for anything. And then Nakamura beat Andrew Garza. We'll give one. It's fine.
Nakamura had to get a win going into Survivor Series because he hadn't been on TV in like 3 weeks. So.
He's been on TV. He's just been in tag matches where he loses.
My God. I just keep forgetting because it's so forgettable. Because now Rick Boogs is apparently incredibly over, just looking around at the crowd, and it's like, oh, okay.
Well, he's doing the Freddie Mercury thing for his entrance now when he does the sing along.
Yeah, my God, I don't care for it. I like Rick Boogs too. I really do. Like this is if you hook yourself to this wagon, it just seems like it's going to eventually find itself in the river because this is not a lasting identity. And I don't know, like the fans like it. At least the people who go to the live shows do because there were like 13 people to put together a Boogs sign. And I was like, really?
Hey man, if it gets over, I have some friends who are not wrestling adjacent who love his content, therefore they love him.
That's the thing. He's fun on social media. I like him. I like him more. Like I know him more as a powerlifting guy than I do as a wrestler. I saw him there before I saw him. I didn't know he was part of WWE.
Ma Dan brings up a really good point. Priest hasn't been on TV in 2 weeks, whereas for better or worse, Shinsuke has been on TV.
Oh my God, I'm just totally like it feels like I've been seeing Damian Priest a bunch, but I haven't been seeing Shinsuke. That's so weird.
And those two have a match tonight, Sunday night at Survivor Series. So I think that is actually either going to be very telling or it's going to be a move forward for one of really Damian Priest over the other, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what I would assume.
So going back to what was good on SmackDown, Sasha Banks and Shotzi had an excellent match. They went back and forth. They worked the arm. There was a good amount of storytelling in it, and involved with it. While there was the silly "can they coexist?" They had Sonya Deville be like, "Hey, you guys are going to shake hands afterwards. You're going to adhere to the code of honor. You're going to be best pals, and that'll be that." So the match happens. Banks gets the win. A very good contest. I want these two to go absolutely ham in a hardcore match. That's what I'm
same. I think that'd be very, very, very good once we get there. Again, the roles seem off to me, but that's fine. Like fully team Shotzi, don't understand how she's the heel in this situation. Don't know what Sasha Banks did to gain redemption as a face. So I don't know. It's confusing to me, but
I agree in the two of them feeling like a strange heel and face dynamic. I like Shotzi as a heel right now.
Me too. I think she can work as a heel. I just think the thing they did to turn her heel doesn't make sense.
Right. I agree with that. It just, there could have been a better way to turn her, and there could have been a better way to explain why she turned other than I'm sick of losing or I'm sick of you people. It just, and like people were complaining, oh, she got rid of the tank. You know what? If that's what they're going to do to turn her, it's fine.
I think it was necessary that she get rid of the tank to do much of anything. So it's fine. It was a dumb bit.
I think the tank comes back sooner than later. Plus, like in the Vince McMahon school of thought, the tank wasn't his idea. The tank came from her on the indies. The tank also came from Sammy Guevara. So let's face it, it was not going to make it.
We can't use this. Yeah.
It was just not going to stay. So you know what? It's fun. It's fine. I'm fine. Like, let's do it. Let's go. So the match happens. It was fine. And then we got to Tony Storm. Tony Storm actually didn't look like a chump.
Yeah. Came out strong. Like finally, you know what? It's encouraging to see someone move to the main roster and start to have an identity after being absent for a while, right? Where it feels like, they don't know what to do with her. But they finally brought her back and she actually feels strong. She's taken it to Charlotte Flair verbally and it's been good.
And I love that they're shocking your voice because there is in mine too. And I've always known her to be a good wrestler. I've never known her to be a great talker. And I think
No.
the promo that she ran with on Friday really knocked it out of the park. I think it was
Yeah.
very good for what we're telling, for the story we're telling, and that we're leading to her being an opponent for Charlotte after Survivor Series. Let's go with that. She may not win, but now it's on them to make her look good.
Mm-hmm. Dig it.
Fine by me. And yeah, that's SmackDown. We already talked at the beginning of the show about the main event and the opening. So the through thread with Big E and Reigns and Xavier Woods. I think, Tim, it's time. Are you ready? Are you ready to flip a coin?
Hold on. Xia Li promo was very good.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the Xia Li promo. Yes, very good. However, very much like the Tiansha NXT promos.
Yeah,
and
the thing is, like,
end up.
Oh, it's building well. This will go nowhere.
This will not end well.
It's like, oh, this is kind of an interesting character. You can't use this on a wrestling show. Like, what? I don't care. Like, she's the protector. Protector of what? Like, she's here as an athlete competing for a championship. You can't use that character. It doesn't make sense.
She's gonna beat the shit out of her landlord. That's all I got from that.
Exactly. Like, if you want to make a landlord character and then beat the shit out of him night after night, I'll watch more. But that's fine.
Ridge Holland, landlord.
I see, believable. I would love to watch Ridge Holland as a landlord get its ass beat every single night.
Just a crooked landlord taking his tiny black dildo back.
Is there any other kind? Continue.
Okay, so yes, I agree. It looked visually, it was a great promo. I think back to that NXT Tiansha promos and I think, oh, those were really neat. And then nothing happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Undertaker was an undead mortician. Yeah.
At least you're harvesting corpses. You know, it could be a violent thing. He just likes more work.
I'm all about more violence. And if you like violence, go ahead and toss us a thumbs up. If you don't like violence, don't do anything. Just stay here and hang out. Just stay here. We'll get less violent. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna add this. We're gonna remove this. Tim, we're gonna flip coins. Here we go. Are you ready for?
Okay.
We're doing this. We weren't kidding. This is not a bit. We're going to flip coins for the Survivor Series matches. Are you ready, Tim?
Okay, DJ, calm down. I was just joking about, yes, Godfather was a pimp. There were all sorts of great characters in wrestling. Xia Li as the protector is not going to turn into anything because WWE can't write anything. So that's fine.
An accurate depiction. All right, let's go. Champion versus champion, number one. We're going to do, we're going to do United States champion Damian Priest against Intercontinental champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Tim, do you want heads or tails?
I mean, we should say what they are, right?
Heads, Priest. Tails, Nakamura.
Okay, love it.
All right, you ready?
I'm going to guess it's going to be heads.
Okay, let's find out. Did it make the flippy sound for you too?
No, it didn't do it for me.
Damn.
Okay, it says Knack wins.
Okay, so yeah, I need you to write this down.
I'm keeping track of it. We'll order it by confidence, perhaps, but that's it.
I have zero confidence in anything going on.
Exactly. All right.
For the Champions versus Champions tag match, we've got the Raw Tag Team Champions Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, RK Bro, taking on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. Heads for the Usos, tails for RK Bro. Let's go. I'm going to say tails.
Yeah, that feels right.
So that's RK Bro over the Usos is what we're saying. For the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, she takes on Charlotte Flair in a match that I'm very much looking forward to.
I think this is the main event. It should be the main event. The way they're talking about it makes it seem like it's going to close out the show.
Heads for Becky, tails for Charlotte. Are you ready? Let's go. Heads.
Seems right.
Yep. What do we say? Heads for Becky?
Yeah.
And then a champion match for the WWE and Universal Champions. We got Big E taking on Roman Reigns. Let's make Roman Reigns the head of the table and Big E the tail of the coin. Here we go.
Because that booty.
The head of the table, Roman Reigns. I don't agree with that. I do think it's going to be Big E.
It should definitely be Biggie.
Those are our predictions for the Survivor Series based on. Oh, there's a 5-on-5 series. Okay, there's the 5-on-5 traditional matches.
All right, SmackDown or
Um,
Raw?
yes, I forgot about those. They were
Yeah,
in
the
a way.
focal point of the entire night.
Yeah. The traditional women's match: Team Raw's Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Carmella, Queen Zelina, and Rhea Ripley, one half of the tag champs, taking on Team SmackDown: Sasha Banks, Shotzi, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, and Toni Storm. Let's say the tails are SmackDown, the heads are Raw. Tails are SmackDown. Sasha, Shotzi, Natalya, Baszler, and Storm. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
That seems wrong.
You think Team Raw wins?
I think Team Raw.
I think Team SmackDown wins. I think Bianca Belair is going to get taken out by Doudrop mid-match, and that's going to lead to them losing.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That does seem plausible. Okay.
Maybe Toni Storm is the sole survivor.
Could be. That would be good.
You got Liv Morgan on the other side as the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship, whereas Toni Storm and Charlotte are going to have a thing. So I think those
now it seems like it's going to be Liv and Toni, and a valiant effort by Liv, but again, another loss.
Yeah. As much as I want to talk about who the surviving members are, they don't do like sole survivors, and they don't want to be like so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. So if I could pick one person from one team.
Yeah, last year was a sweep by one team, right? So it's tough to talk about that. If it comes down to one-on-one, I think it's Liv Toni.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely be heavily involved. 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw for the men: Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. They're going to take on Team SmackDown: Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Xavier Woods, Happy Corbin, and Sheamus. Let's put Team Raw at tails and Team SmackDown at heads.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, SmackDown.
See, I think so. Maybe we need to get Jeff Hardy into a main event position, and they keep putting him on TV, etc. Like, him and Drew are the best of buds, and having two people who can work together on either one of these teams is a significant advantage.
I think so. And again, like the big question for those two matches is, can they coexist?
Well, Jeff Hardy and Drew can. We found that out.
I should hope so. So that was the SmackDown team is going to win over the Raw team. I think it's going to end with everyone just being the shit of Austin Theory. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then there is the 25-man dual-branded Battle Royal to commemorate the 25th anniversary of The Rock's WWE debut, which is the most convoluted way to do anything ever. Kudos, WWE.
Okay, do you have a list of all of those men?
I do.
Okay, I'm going to roll a 25-sided die, and I'll tell you what number wins.
This is great. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, read them out real quick, and then I'll roll the dice.
All right, 25 men include AJ Styles. Okay, by the way, before you get, yes, we know this is basically every single tag team in WWE and the 24/7 counterparts. Here we go. AJ Styles, Omos, Otis, Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, R-Truth, T-Bar, Cesaro, Ricochet, Mansoor, Sami Zayn, Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Jinder Mahal, Shanky, Eric, Ivar, Drew Gulak. So let's just count, before you do it, count up the tag teams. Styles and Omos, Otis and Gable, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, Crews and Aziz, Ford Dawkins, what else here? Umberto and Angel, Jinder and Shanky, Viking Raiders. That's 9 tag teams. 18 men in this thing are in a tag team.
It's really a tag team battle royal. I'm sure the remaining how many is that? Like 8?
18 plus whatever the hell is left. I'm not a mathematician. And this is a good shout. No Ali for either team. Anywhere.
He just wants to take a breather. He's clearly outnumbered in that we've seen he has no friends backstage anymore. So
Insanity.
He's probably just stepping out of this one.
I have no idea what's going on.
All right, I'm going to roll a 25-sided die.
Go ahead. 25-side die.
18. Who's number 18 in your list?
One of the tag teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is Sami Zayn. So you actually might be right on the money. That's awesome. Good stuff.
Awesome. Delightful. Good die. Good stuff.
The only other person I could see winning this, Jinder Mahal. There are no stakes, by the way. None of these men get to like have a meet and greet with The Rock. None of them get to like meet The Rock in person.
They're probably going to get a really ugly statue, I guess. I don't know.
You want to talk about long-term storytelling? You know what you do? The winner of this match gets to go one-on-one with the Great One, and you get Eric Rowan, Redbeard, who had Rock's last match at WrestleMania 32. He wins the over-the-top battle royal, and he gets to face The Rock, and this time he beats The Rock. 50-50 booking, pal.
That's not going to happen.
Not with that attitude. So that's Survivor Series. We just picked everything based on coins and die. So tell your friends, that's how we did it. That's insanity. Want to talk about that?
This is genius. It should just be this. This is the only way that this actually works as a match. Yeah, just have everyone show up as a version of The Rock, given that they already have at least 3 costumes like that. So
they do. They've definitely shown them off. Riddle's going to show up looking like The Rock from 96. He already did it. He's going to do it again. I need the entire Raw Survivor Series team to show up like fanny pack Rock. They all walk out with their black t-shirts and jeans wearing a black fanny pack.
Turtlenecks. Black turtleneck.
Turtlenecks. You're right. It's iconic. My bad. It is turtleneck season, especially in New York. It's still fall. It's beautiful. I think that's what we need, Tim.
I don't own a turtleneck. I don't know that I can pull it off.
I think you can turn it. I think you could pull it off.
All right, I'll try to buy one.
I feel like bald men could pull off a turtleneck much better than those without, or those with hair.
Just gonna look like that douche, Apple douche. What's his name? Dead.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm going for here. Tim, not Tim Cook. That's the alive one. Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
The alive one. Wow. Let's talk about Dynamite because everyone there is still alive. And
yay.
We'll do Dynamite. We'll do Rampage, and then we'll talk about releases. So they start the show. I like that they do the cleaner. I got this from Adam Cole to Kenny Omega. Omega's like, Hanger, you won. I'm going to take some time off. Fine by me. And Cole's like, I got this. And Omega's like, I'm talking about the Bucks. You can go suck a dick. And they're just like, well, all right, let's go.
Yep. That was good. It's a good little thing.
How long do you think he's going to be gone for?
We talked about this last time. I don't know.
I'm asking again.
He could take at least 6 to 9 months. I'd be fine with a year.
Nice.
However long he needs. He's earned it.
Hangman Page comes out. Hangman, the new AEW World Champion, comes out. It's National Cowboy Shit Day, International Cowboy Shit Day, because we have made that proclamation as the official ambassadors.
Get the memo. It takes time to get these things through.
That's true. He was having a hard time getting some stuff done on his end, so I get it. And then he does the whole like the babyface promo. I just didn't deserve it. I earned it. And then he's like, I'm going to beat the Americans and Dragonson, Danielson, Bryanson, who comes out. And holy shit, does he ever steal the show?
Yeah, heel turn by Daniel Bryan. He's just like, screw the Dark Order, and that's all it takes. Bootstrapping Bryan is what I'm going to start calling him, because that's who he is to me. And it's like, now I hate you. Like,
I am such a fan of him being able to turn that crowd by just saying WrestleMania.
Yep.
That's all he had to say was, I main evented WrestleMania and I want to work. And you and I talked about it. We said the Dark Order every week until he gets to Hangman.
I said it as a joke because there was nowhere for this to go, but it's like, it's fine. They're turning Bryan, and Bryan is so good at this that like, okay, fine, you made it work, even against my deepest instincts.
And that's fine, because you've got people from Dark Order who are from every city that they're going to, so the heat kind of piles on, which is perfect.
He should just whoop each one of them's ass in their hometown every week until we get to the match. That's
what's happening. He's going to do Colton, Chicago, which is Colt's hometown. Then they're going to go to Duluth, Georgia, which is where Kyle O'Reilly's going to debut, and he's going to have Alan Angels, who's from Atlanta area, whatever, or Anna Jay. I'm sure he's not against doing that.
Just get confused.
Just do Bryan versus Anna Jay, whatever. What's the difference? And then they're going to go to Long Island, and on Long Island you've got John Silver, Johnny Hungy. That's a big match, especially if you want to get big heat, because the next week they're in Texas, and winter is coming, where traditionally the title shot is cashed.
It's going to happen, yeah.
And if you do cowboy shit in Texas, guess what? You're going to get cowboy shit in Texas. So I like the arc of the story.
Actually, you know what? It actually came together quite well, and I was nervous because like I said, I thought Miro made more sense, but
I would love to see where Miro ends up because he certainly hasn't been on TV since losing that world title eliminator
and that's the
tournament.
thing. We got bootstrapping Bryan, but it's like, did we need that heel turn? Like thinking of the arrangement of things in AEW, but at least it'll be entertaining along the way.
Brie Bella versus Anna Jay. Brie Bella comes in for a shot. I'm into it. Let's do it. And that's a good point because Bryan wasn't supposed to turn heel anytime soon. I don't think. Mox being in rehab threw a huge wrench into the plans, and then Miro being injured probably didn't add any good to it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think when we were talking about it last time, we talked about the potential of that thigh wrap being a shoot injury, and like his absence kind of says maybe it was.
Yeah, it looked like an actual legitimate injury, not just him taping it up for nothing. Because, like you said, the week before when he took on Orange Cassidy, there was nothing in that match that makes you believe he had some sort of injury to that upper thigh.
Nothing apparent, but weird stuff happens like that. It's just and like I don't think the match delivered quite as well as I thought it would, which I think is just because I think he was working hurt.
Danielson and Uno have a long match. It's a good match. One of the things that kind of turned me off this week on Dynamite, especially coming after a pay-per-view, is that there were a lot of long matches that didn't need to be as long as they were.
No, that's definitely the case. There's a lot. JR wasn't on his best game either, and it was kind of distracting me. Like it was just a kind of a weird in-ring situation I found.
Sleepy JR, he can't take things seriously if they're not serious enough for him. And then we got Eddie Kingston getting interviewed by Tony Schiavone. I like this. They're setting it up. Garcia and Kingston, they're going to do that.
You're a grown man. You let these guys call themselves your dad, or you call them your son.
I know you're from Buffalo, but I'm from Yonkers.
And he's like, oh, I'm from Buffalo. And he's like, yes, I know you. Anyway, let's fight.
Yeah.
So and then I appreciate the end where he's just like, one promo. Can I get one promo that doesn't get interrupted? I'm going to catering.
Yes, very good stuff. I did enjoy that. And then they go to the tag match, which I thought was absolutely fun and just weird. Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii. They team up.
Again, I didn't know Ishii. I was like, okay, now this guy is interesting looking. Like, thank you. He was not another like generic creator wrestler that I'm so used to with New Japan. Like this guy's got a personality. He's very square.
He's very blocky.
He's a block man. I appreciate it, and he was fun. I loved it.
And they took on the Butcher and the Blade. Again, we're just getting closer to that 10-man Chaos versus Hardy Family Office match that they're clearly going to build to. Okay, why not? It was fun. You know what? Ishii wins the match for his tag team, and we're off to the races. Fun.
Ishii coming out. Did he come out with Cassidy to Where Is My Mind? Which was so weird.
It was surreal, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And Elliot making a point that he thinks that Bryan Danielson will go back to being a face after the match.
Which I agree with, and I hate. I find that so annoying. Like,
I think it'll come down to who's around, who's available, and what type of match they have at Winter is coming.
Yeah.
No,
that's part of his charm is his necklaceness. Keep it that way.
Necklaceness. Oh, good stuff. They do the FTR, Tully, Andrade, and Jose. And they're just like, we're not going to make you pay. The four of us are going to be on a tag team, and we're going to take on Cody and the Lucha Bros and Pac. Yeah. TBS Women's Tournament quarterfinal. Let's just move on to that. Because I agree. Unless you got a hot take and you want to talk about that.
There's nothing. It's boring.
All right. Not boring was Sheeta versus Rose. It was a good match. Yeah. Again, went a little long. But I'm gonna give it leeway.
Yeah, and they used props in two matches that were like straight up, regular rules matches that I don't think was necessary at all, and it cheapens how special it is when they do use those. So it was like,
yeah, it was fine.
They're good spots. Just I don't think they needed to be done on this random Dynamite.
Right, I hear you. And they had again Serena Deeb sitting at ringside. She clips Sheeta's knee, so they did that distraction. But eventually Nyla Rose wins. So the Sheeta tournament idea that she goes to the end and then loses valiantly, that's over. It's going to be, I think it's Rose and Soho next.
Yeah.
Or no, they still have to do Soho and Statlander, don't they?
I don't know. This
Not
tournament is
Rose.
going
Sorry, Soho and Statlander.
like they went for the stumpy bracket, but they're also like just rationing out when these matches happen, and it's happening so slowly. And people got buys, and I don't know. I'm not.
They're at the point where they have to tell the story leading up to January 5th. That's
Yeah,
when they do the reveal and the finals, and that's a while from now. We're
I
still at the
know.
end of
I know.
January.
Which
Or, sorry,
again
we're still at
makes
the
me
end of
question
November.
why didn't we just do a longer tournament? But I guess not. We'll just do one match at a time, slowly.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out next week what we're looking at for semifinals, and then finally Malachi Black's like, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, which is like, okay, yeah, I understand.
MJF comes out. MJF is like, "I beat Darby Allin exactly how I said I would. I'm the man. I'm the best." On the microphone in the back and the ring, blah blah blah. I check all the boxes. I'm the man who will start a bidding war in the year 2024.
2024. His whooped ass promo too. The video package was also so good.
Yes. And then out comes CM Punk. And CM Punk doesn't say a word, just crossed his arms, walked out, and that's it.
This was good. This is a great way to start this feud. Like,
they're going to talk. When are they going to talk?
Oh, they're going to talk. They're going to talk at each other, Joel.
That's how you build a promo. Put Eddie Kingston in there. Have the three of them promo off.
That would be, that's a lot in one room.
It's a lot of yelling and a lot of egos.
Yeah, oh my God. I'm excited for this. We talked about this as the first competition for CM Punk. So I'm glad we got there pretty quickly in the end because it needed to happen.
I think we'll see Punk and Wardlow at Winter is Coming. And that'll start to set up Punk and MJF at Revolution.
Yeah, that works.
I'd be all
in
for that. And then they did the Darby Allin, "Hey, how do you feel?" And he's just like, I'm cool. And then out comes Billy and the Ass Boys.
Thank you, Danhausen, for getting this stable over.
And they're just like,
they're now like very popular.
He's like, "I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. You tell me when and where." And Darby's like, "Oh, fucking hell." It says, "Let's do it."
Great match.
It was. Let's fast forward. Billy and the Ass Boys, Billy specifically, Billy Ass, takes on Darby Allin on Rampage in a good opening contest. And they did all the moves. It's exactly what I expected. Darby Allin looking like the big man, getting ragdolled everywhere. And it ends with, Darby eventually getting the win by doing the one crazy thing that takes down Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Billy Gunn's theme, by the way, is really good.
It is. And the crowd was chanting "Ass Boys." So
90s synthwave.
Fitting for that spray tanned body.
And then, of course, moving on to more Rampage stuff, the Young Bucks on Dynamite with Adam Cole were just like, "We're not done yet with Jurassic Express." And the rest of the crowd is just like, "But why aren't you?"
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's just like, why? It's the same answer, or the same question arises from this promo and Jungle Boy's shaving. Why?
Right, he's no longer Jungle Beard.
Why? That's not right.
So Bobby Fish and Adam Cole take on Jungle Express.
You don't bring a fish to a fist fight. Ha ha ha. It was all right.
Anyway, again, a good tag match. That one ended. I love it on Rampage. Ends with Adam Cole basically turning tail, running, and leaving Fish to get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, I like that. And his silly little hop with the Panama Sunrise costume in this match. I like that.
So, I mean, I guess we're getting a little bit closer to potentially doing Cole and Fish with Kyle O'Reilly and the Young Bucks together on Undisputed Elite.
That'd be cool.
I'm fine with that. And then but also have like Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish be like, "I don't trust this Adam Cole character.
Shouldn't he
keeps screwing us.
Questionable." Yeah.
Then they all come together in the end. They're all best friends. Not those best friends.
Yeah, we already have
we already have those ones. They hug and stuff. The Acclaimed, they take on Dante Martin, Leo Rush. Finally, the Acclaimed are starting to bust out, and they're starting to be that team. I'm a fan, Tim.
Finally, very big fan. Loving it.
There's not much I can add to this other than go watch this match. My favorite was in the rap when Max Caster says, "You guys are virgins," and Leo turns to the crowd and says, "I got 3 kids." He's had sex at least 3 times in his life.
It was good. Leo Rush really, like, I get it a bit more. I haven't had the chance to see him a whole lot, so this was a good showcase.
I like Leo's theme music too. He had done it. That's from his stuff.
Very nice.
It's
Much
very
better than Max Caster's raps.
good.
Wait,
Low
yeah,
bar.
Caster's the one who raps, and Anthony
Yes.
Bowens is just his friend, right?
Yeah, he's the one who screams.
Okay, good. I call him a hype man, but he doesn't even do that. He just holds the boombox.
That's right. And you know what? This week, Dante came out. Dante Martin didn't look like someone told him that his cat died on the way out
Not
to the
so
ring.
very dejected.
He's excited. You know why? Because everyone's after him. Everyone wants him to be on their team. You had Starks after the match just be like with Team Taz being like, "Hey, I come and join my Hall of Fame team," and you know it was good. It was fun.
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that as a storyline, and I'm sick of Team Taz.
How dare you?
I'm just it never ends, and it's not interesting. Like, I don't know. I've got all of these contracts and management deals being signed. I feel like I need to see the contracts and what services they actually offer, because it doesn't make any sense to me.
And then in the main event, Sammy Guevara retained his TNT title in a good match. Tony Nese was at ringside. Guevara did a lot of flipping and flying. Eventually off a table, beat his opponent.
No yeah.
Yep, beat his opponent 1, 2, 3, and that was it. And then for some reason, Jericho and Inner Circle came out and they celebrated with Sammy.
Because Jericho's narcissism won't allow him to not be on screen.
I guess very strange. Also from Rampage, just to catch up from that before we move into release talk, QT Marshall challenges CM Punk.
Yeah. I guess just so they could give CM Punk a win in his hometown. That's all it is. Also, it feels kind of pointless when they only go to a few cities. Like, you were just in Chicago, so I don't really care.
They were in Hoffman Estates, Tim. Very different.
Oh, okay, sure.
This time they're in the middle of the city. This is it.
Big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sky and Paige cut a good promo. That was good.
They did. Yeah. I'm glad that they're moving on. We'll see.
Yeah, why not? Jade advanced to the semifinals. I forgot about that. Jade and Red Velvet had a match. Good match. Solid.
Yeah,
whatever.
It was fine. It was long.
Yeah. It was long, but you know what? Those two, if it's going to be anyone who gets a lot of offense in on Jade Cargill, I'm glad it's Red Velvet because they have a history.
They've done the work for it.
Yeah. I'm just telling people now that we're going to talk about releases in a second.
The thing everyone wants to hear about.
Yeah, because everything else we've already covered from Rampage. We got through that tag match. It's an hour. We can talk about that in an hour. All right. So they did it again. We were just here, what, a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
I don't even know anymore.
On a Monday, I was away, and all of a sudden they were like, they're cutting people again. So set the stage. Thursday night, I'm doing the Twitch watch along, not watch along, the Twitch streams with Steven Jensen, and then a bunch of us were all playing Mario Kart. We're just hanging out. It was a good night.
So chill.
It was chill. And then we went offline and we finished for the night, said our goodbyes, logged off of Skype, and like 10 minutes later, Sean Ross Sapp tweets out, Fightful has learned that WWE have released John Morrison, Top Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick, Shane Thorne, Jackson Riker. Some of these make absolute sense. So I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to tell you, like, I'm not going to eulogize all of these people because A, not dead, and B, there's still plenty of gas in their proverbial tank.
No, for me, Drake, Shane, Jackson all makes sense.
Yes. Jackson, we don't even need to talk about that. That's pretty obvious. Crock of shit.
They released his whole faction. It's weird he lasted as long as he did.
I have nothing else to add about it. He was a walking time bomb. That's all Jackson Riker was. Just a walking time bomb. Shane Thorne, you and I talked about it, had that Crocodile Dundee Thorne thing going on that never took off.
I'm glad that never saw the proper light of day. Like, and he was trying to do whatever because he tried everything at that point. So it's nothing on him. It's just.
I think he was ready to go. I think it was just
Yeah.
he was also another guy who was ready to go, maybe go back to Japan, go with his teammate in Australia and have a good run.
He's
Now
been
you're
killing it on Twitter too, so it seemed like he was ready. He's like, I thought I was retired. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to learn how to wrestle again.
That's right. That's the thing. And you know what? Speaking of people who really got over after their release, Drake Maverick, Spud, puts out that video that gets so much attention. And he had that one in the can for a few weeks
Since his last
easily.
release.
And it's a different video. Like it's a setup, the same setup as his last one, where he starts to be sad, and then they cut away. If you haven't seen it, go watch that video. It's really good. John Cena gave it props, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
That's when John Cena walks in the chat, you listen.
And it's not some inspirational nonsense.
That's right. He's like, you can
ignore that, but you can listen when he's actually going to talk as a person.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's just like, you're a wrestler. Go be a wrestler. You're a wrestler now. Takes off the WWE t-shirt, throws it out. I like it. I think there's a lot of upside for Drake Maverick. His wife is also working hard. I'm into them being successful. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he was ready to, or knowing he was out the door when they got rid of his tag team partner.
Yeah, considering they'd already fired him once.
Yeah,
like
when they got rid of Damo, and then also had Drake Maverick have a match wherein he came out to his old tag team music, that had to be the end of the road. There was nothing left. Tegan Knox. Okay.
I don't.
No, I you know what? I know people don't like this. They don't like hearing this. There was a big medical liability.
Oh, what happened to her? I knew she got hurt.
She tore both of her ACLs on their watch.
Both. My God.
And they paid for the rehab. They paid for the surgery. And unfortunately, in wrestling, you get hurt once, they start to look at you. You get hurt
which
twice.
is insane. You get hurt,
You get hurt twice, and then you're seen as injury prone, and therefore we can't push you. We can't rely on you to be more than what we've given you.
Unless you're Triple H.
Yeah, unless you're Triple H. Or unless you've proven that you can come back in record time and not get hurt again. Kevin Nash. It's not my favorite. I don't like it, but at the same time, they weren't doing anything with Tegan. They gave her shots for tag team title shots that they never got with Shotzi. And once that happened, it was game over. There was nothing else on the table for them.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I don't know. I feel like it should just be planned. People get hurt doing this. Like, I don't know. It's dangerous.
I'm also going
to
to
if you're doing it in a way that's halfway interesting, people will get hurt.
Yes. I'm also going to add this, and I'm sorry if people take this the wrong way. In the WWE sphere, your character is what they want to see.
Yeah.
What was Tegan Knox's character other than girl who's a really big Marvel fan?
Oh, see, I didn't even know that, and that's not interesting because that's literally everyone. It's like a very boring personality trait to me. Because I'm not, and I don't care. So don't talk to me about it.
Her whole recovery, when they interviewed her, she was like, I'm a big Captain Marvel fan. I got through all of this because I love Captain Marvel. She did videos with who's the actress who played Captain Marvel? Do you remember? Brie Larson. Yeah. And they did like workout videos, and that was great. That was great crossover for their Marvel appeal. But unfortunately, like, there was no character for Tegan.
I feel like WWE sets up like weird cross promotion with wrestlers that aren't even that present. Like Eva Marie has like an energy drink deal, and it's just like, what?
I think that was her thing.
Yeah. And it's just, but they use WWE. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't. So Tegan Knox will absolutely find success outside of WWE. There was a lot of timing with her, a lot of character things. Again, if you're in WWE, you're a wrestler second, you're an entertainer first. Rick Boogs may not be the best wrestler, but guess what? He's entertaining the shit out of fans live in an arena every Friday night by playing guitar, by singing, by being obnoxious, and that's what gets him over.
And I appreciated this week for him, just like he grabbed one of them and like held him upside down and just shook him a bunch. Like, that's a good way to, as a face, do like outside manager work. I appreciated that. Shout out to that.
Even Madcap Moss. I'm sorry, I don't like the character. We didn't even talk about Madcap this week because it was boring as hell to us.
It always is.
Like, that's the character. He's got a character right now. They're letting a character happen for better or worse. And that's what they want. They just want a character.
Yeah, and it gives Jeff Hardy the opportunity to woodenly, awkwardly fake laugh. So
Now, keep in mind the character thing when we circle back and talk about Top Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis,
yeah, we
and
get some
Isaiah
other.
Scott.
There's not a whole lot of reason to some of this.
But let's talk about John Morrison real quick. Jomo 100% was out the door when his wife got cut 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
There was no, it was like a matter of time. If he didn't ask for it, he was certainly ready to.
I mean, I hate him in WWE. I really, really love John Morrison. I hate him in WWE because they don't know what to do other than keep shoving him with the Miz, and their shtick is like very up and down. Like, he had an excellent WrestleMania match. I think his time with WWE can end with that, and he can, go in and do some more interesting stuff elsewhere, because he should go anywhere. Like, I really appreciate him outside of the WWE more than anything.
Johnny Game Changer. He
Johnny Mundo.
He doesn't need to be Johnny Elite. He can be Johnny Mundo again in MLW because they're doing Azteca. Johnny Azteca, let's go. There's a lot of place and a lot of opportunity for Johnny. Johnny Impact can make a debut again in Impact. He can be back there. There are a lot of places for Johnny to make his return. You know what? Have him show up anywhere and call himself Johnny Wrestling and just watch Johnny Gargano lose his shit.
Do it. That'd be so great.
Like Dan's talking about Nixon Newell, who's Tegan Knox, being like Kenta. Kenta had injuries. He was considered injury prone. He got released. He went back to Japan, and now he's currently having a great run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, there's opportunity there outside of WWE.
And like she's great in ring, so there is that. The other thing I'll say about like people having difficulty defining their characters in WWE is that I feel like true creativity is completely stifled there. Like, you end up being limited to terrible, bloody ideas. Like, people gave Chelsea Green shit when she had those awful ideas leak, and it's like, no, like this is the caliber of writing that they're looking for. Like, that is like, look what gets over for them. Madcap Moss, a guy who laughs like an idiot and tells bad jokes. There's no depth there. Rick Boogs just does an intro. Like, this is the stuff they want. So, like, it's not necessarily that she didn't have a personality. It's that she could not conceive of a personality as simplistic as WWE wanted. Like,
you're a bit player in a larger circus. And if you're not filling that role, then there's nothing for you.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, you've seen people do, I don't know, it's tough because like, yeah, there's that's the case. But then you see people kill it in their like 30 seconds every single week, and it doesn't do anything for them, like Billy Kay. So I don't know what they want. Like,
and neither do they. That's the other side of the coin, is that they continue to cut and they continue to wean down a roster that doesn't need to be weaned down, but they use it. They'll use budget cuts as an example. So we'll get to that. We're going to get to that. So they get rid of, they released Top Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis, and Isaiah Swerve Scott's Hit Row, or what was left of Hit Row. So not Swerve, but Adonis and Top Dollar had an interview with Busted Open Radio. And I don't know if you saw the article, but they said when BFAB was released, they went to WWE and they were like, why?
Yeah, why they should have. Yeah.
They said they filmed stuff for Black Friday with them, like as Hit Row, and then reshot it without her. And now clearly that's not going to get used again. They were booked for SmackDown Survivor Series and the Raw after Survivor Series, and then unbooked, and then rebooked again, and then unbooked. And then Ashanti says that's when he saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Top Dollar, with the way he's been tweeting, that may have played a role in some of the decision. Got a little hot, got a little comfy. That's stuff that led to Greg Hamilton's release in WWE. He didn't threaten lawyers, but he got a little Twitter fingers sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But you want to talk about players playing a part in a show. Hit Row had that opportunity to be big level players in WWE.
They had everything. It's absurd what they did. This is bad management, like through and through. This was a waste of money, stupid decisions. And it's like, if you're concerned with what people are saying on social media, then do what you always do and strong arm them. Like the behemoth corporation that you are, they would back down. Like, frustrating. Like, it's so dumb. This is just illustrative of a deep problem in how this company is managed. Like, I you know, some of these fine. There's business cases, things make sense. Tegan Knox can make sense from a certain perspective. All that is just this. They were on TV. You were using them. They were big over with the fans. They're big over, and part of the demographic you're trying to break into further than you currently are. Like, I don't understand what you want. Like, with the people in that stable, you had everything.
And now they've got nothing. They've let all three of them go.
I hope it burns them. I hope they alienate people and that they see less people show up to their shows. But sadly, I don't think that's going to happen because the consumers, by and large, are not smart. They just eat whatever's shoveled into their faces. Like,
it's Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like, everything is monopolized to such a deep degree. Like, the notion of competition is completely broken.
Their marketing is impeccable. They are the main game in town. They're the company that everyone knows. You can talk about. Here's a good example. John Jones has a fight against Jake Hager.
I heard.
And when John Jones announced on Twitter that he has a fight against Jake Hager, he called him WWE star Jack Swagger. Yep. And then somebody said, no, he's AEW star Jake Hager. And Jones said, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. that was basically what happened. And that goes into the branding of WWE. People know WWE, and AEW is brand new. I get it. They're coming out hot. That's fine. But they got it. There has to be the marketing there. There has to be, people have to know that there's a difference between some of these companies, but you've got a multi-billion-dollar company that has a 50-year head start.
WWE is to wrestling what Kleenex is to tissue. Like, there's no, it's inextricable at this point, and they have so much money and they're so ahead of the game because they had a 20-year head start. Like, doesn't matter. There's nothing, like, it's very frustrating, but this is a problem not only in this industry, but in literally every industry. Like, it is. I'm not going to get into that economics.
Anyway. the irony of what you're saying, and this is what I love, is that yes, Kleenex is to tissue as WWE is to wrestling, but unfortunately they don't want to be wrestling and they keep getting associated with it. If they could spin off and be told that they are the only sports entertainment, they would love it.
Here's the thing, sports entertainment isn't anything. Like,
it isn't.
You can say
it's
that
a brand. It's a
like, that's such a
mechanism.
stupid, and it's never going to get over. When you say wrestling, every time I tell someone I do a wrestling podcast, they're like, oh, like WWE, or like, oh, that fake stuff, right? And I was like, yes, right. Exactly.
And that's
you will never get away from that. Like, because like, as much as these brands love trying to separate themselves from their products, like Nike still makes Nike still pays people to make shoes for them. Like,
right.
You can be whatever you want. Like, Nike is known for shoes. They don't make them. They haven't made them in decades, but like, they do sell them and they put their stupid logo on it. Like, they also make other attire, but that's not what people talk about them for. So.
And the reason why I don't get upset about the releases is really because at the end of the day, everyone gets, they get performative angry about it, but they still support the company. They still watch the shows.
Nothing
they still
changes.
Watch the pay-per-views.
Nothing changes.
They maybe pay for Peacock or they don't, whatever it is, they still contribute in one way or another to wrestling, to WWE specifically. There are people who have taken, this isn't a general statement, but there are many people who will get, performatively angry and then go watch the Survivor Series afterwards. I'm not angry. I'm going to still watch the Survivor Series tonight because guess what? It's still part of my job.
Yeah.
So I
probably would not be watching WWE if it weren't for this show, but that's because I'm bored by most of it. Not because of the releases. I don't care. Like, all of these people will be fine because there has never been a better time to be a professional wrestler. Like, the industry has cleaned up a little bit of its like extreme toxicity, and there are lots of opportunities with a decent amount of money. So
see, the thing about that is that the NWA just booked a bunch of the ones that you were talking about.
Well, don't go to NWA. Like,
yeah, they'll all go to the NWA.
You got options. You got options at least, which is something that didn't exist really before. And like, yeah, it sucks. It sucks for them and those people, but it's also like a very, it is a luxury job. It's a thing that's like a dream job. So It is what it is. Like some people have to go do very miserable shit. It's not the end of the world.
I think a lot of people forget that 90 days, they're still getting paid.
Yeah.
They're still very much, they can look for and talk about having new jobs. They can train, which some of them still need to do. And there are a lot of options.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
Like,
options for them. Like, time doesn't freeze just because you get fired.
no, and
You
like
have
most
options.
most jobs don't give you a sweet severance like 90 days where you get this time to actually just do all the admin work to set up your post 90-day work, because you will get work because this is a good time and you've just been elevated by the biggest player in the game. So
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? We'll be talking about it more in our Discord, because that's what we do. We have our Discord. You can go ahead. If there's a free link in the video description for you to join our Discord. While you're at it, you can toss a thumbs up, continue the conversation, leave us a comment, tell us how you feel, not only about Survivor Series tonight, maybe about the releases. Just give us your thoughts and subscribe to us here at Tim and Joel Pod. Tim, where can the kids find you on the internet?
The kids can find me at TimStoneP, TimbStonep on Twitter. The one last thing I will say about the WWE releases is I'm not a shareholder because it looks like bad management, but it's just a business thing. It's not, I'm not personally invested.
Still keeps going.
Yeah.
That train keeps rolling until it stops, until its shareholders hold them accountable. Nothing changes.
Yeah. But I think only crazy people own WWE stock. But anyway,
not entirely.
No,
I know,
there
I
are
know
definitely some algorithms purchasing WWE stock, etc. But
I highly recommend that you check out. This is a general you. Anyone who's listening, anyone who's watching, check out our friends at WrestleNomics. They are fantastic when it comes to breaking down wrestling in an economics way, in the money of wrestling, the ratings of wrestling, what it matters, what doesn't matter. Go and watch WrestleNomics. You'll find a lot out of that. I am at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. Survivor Series is tonight if you're watching us live. If you're watching us after the fact, I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you didn't watch it. Who cares? Either way, come and join us here. We'll be back Wednesday at noon Eastern to talk about it and a whole slew of other stuff on timandjoelpod.com. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you on Wednesday. Cheers.